If you're watching this, chances are you're dealing with separation or divorce and you're trying to figure out how child support works in Canada. This topic can get confusing, so in this video, I'm going to walk you through what child support is, who pays it, how it's calculated, and a few other things that you might not expect, like when a child is over 18 or when a step-parent might have to pay. My name is Zainab Kamel. I'm a family mediator and divorce coach. And if you would like a free consultation, my information is in the description box below. So without further ado, please grab a coffee or a notebook. This is going to be clear, to the point, and hopefully by the end of this video, you will feel a little less confused because that's what I'm here for. So child support is based on a simple but powerful idea. Children should benefit from the financial means of both their parents, just like they would if the family had stayed together. So if your combined income as a family is $60,000 or $300,000 a year, while you were all living under the same roof, the child should experience a similar lifestyle or standard of living even if you are in two separate homes. So it's more about protecting the child's quality of life. It's about ensuring that the child's standard of living doesn't take a nosedive because the parents now decided to separate. So it's really based on a core principle that parents must contribute to the child's needs based on their ability to pay. Now, this is where it gets a little confusing. Child support is not limited to covering specific costs like food, clothing, or school supplies. It is intended to contribute to the overall expenses of raising a child. This includes essentials like housing, utilities, groceries, transportation, and other everyday costs that support the child's healthy living environment. For this reason, child support payments are not meant to be tracked or audited. You're not submitting receipts to the payor. The law assumes that if the child is living well, housed, and thriving, the money is doing its job. Now, child support is one of the most straightforward sections of your separation agreement because unlike spousal support, it's not really negotiable and it's not really based on circumstances. It is a set number calculated by the federal child support guidelines. It's usually non-negotiable because it is the right of the child, not the right of the parents. Also, and a really important tip is when you are submitting your divorce application, one of the first things judges look at is whether the child support section is detailed and defined in the agreement. Because it is the legal right of the child, and judges want to make sure that it is clearly defined in the agreement. If it's not, if it's vague or it's missing or it's not there, then most probably your divorce application would be delayed. If you're drafting your own separation agreement, make sure that the child support section is clear and detailed and within the guidelines. All right, so how much child support do you actually pay? That depends on two main things. First thing is your income, specifically your gross income. That's the number on line 15,000 of your income tax return. The second thing is your parenting schedule. In other words, how much time your child spends with each parent. Let's talk about the parenting time because it's really important. And we'll start with unequal parenting time. This is when your child lives over 60% with one parent and less than 40% with the other. In that case, only the parent with less than 40% time pays child support, and the other parent's income doesn't factor in, at least not for basic support. Their income will still matter when it comes to extraordinary expenses or Section 7 expenses, but that's a different video. Now, what exactly are these table amounts? They come from the federal child support guidelines, which have already done the math for you. For example, if you earn $70,000 a year and your kids live primarily with your ex, the tables will tell you exactly how much you're expected to pay. So what happens in the case of 50-50, otherwise known as equal or shared parenting time? This is when your child spends at least 40% of the time with each parent. And in that case, we don't use the basic child support tables the way we would if one parent had primary care. Instead, we use what's called a set-off calculation. To determine the set-off amount, we figure out how much each parent would owe based on their income and then the higher earner pays the difference. So let's say John makes $90,000 and Lily makes $50,000. They have 50-50 parenting time. John's stable amount would be $1,000 a month to give to Lily, and Lily's stable amount would be $600 a month to give to John. So John pays the difference, which is $400 a month. So yes, even in a 50-50 split, child support can still be paid because it's not just about time, it's also about income and making sure your child has a consistent quality of life in both homes. If you're curious or want to run some estimates, go to mysupportcalculator.ca. It's a free and easy tool. You'll need a few details. Both parents' birth dates, number and age of your children, dates of marriage, and dates of separation. Once you enter that, it'll show you both the table amount and the set-off amount if you're in a shared parenting situation. Because child support is directly tied to each parent's income, parents have a legal obligation to exchange income information annually. Typically, this income exchange happens around June, since most people will have completed their tax filings and received their notice of assessment from the CRA. Unlike spousal support, child support is not subject to negotiation. The amount is based on the most current, verified income information available. A parent's financial circumstances can change from year to year, and support amounts should reflect that. This is about making sure the child is getting the financial support they're entitled to from both parents, based on what each one can realistically afford. So I'll include the link for my support calculator and the federal child support tables in the description box below. Okay? Now, let's talk about child support and taxes. Child support is not taxable. So the person receiving child support does not report it as income, and the person paying child support does not get a deduction. So child support is tax neutral. Now, if you've got more than one child, the law takes into account the economy of scale. That means you don't just double the amount for 2 kids or triple it for 3. The cost per child goes down a bit as the number of children go up, because raising 2 kids together is less expensive than raising them separately in 2 different households. But, and this is really important, if you have children from different relationships, you may end up paying separate full table amounts for each child. So yes, how support is calculated depends not just on how many kids you have, but with whom and where they live. Child support doesn't automatically end when a child turns 18. Under Canadian law, if a child is still considered dependent because they're in full-time post-secondary education, living with a parent, or unable to support themselves due to a disability or illness, then support may continue beyond the age of majority. Okay, so this one surprises a lot of people. If you are a step-parent and you acted in a role of a parent, the court might still say that you are financially obligated towards the child even after you separate from the biological parent. The legal term is in loco parentis, which means in the place of a parent. In simple terms, the court's test is this: did you take on a parental role in the child's life? Things the court look at. Number 1, did the child see you as a parental figure? For example, did they call you mom or dad? Did they rely on you emotionally? Did you play an active role in their sense of family and support? Number 2, were you involved in the child's daily life? That includes school meetings, medical appointments, bedtime routines, activities, discipline, and family decisions. Number 3, were you financially supporting the child? Did you help pay for their school, food, housing, or other essentials during the relationship? Even if the other parent was also contributing, courts want to know whether you acted financially like a parent. Number 4, did your actions signal long-term commitment? Things like including the child in your will, buying life insurance for their benefit, or claiming them on taxes can show that you treated the child as part of your permanent family unit. So, in summary, it's really about how involved you were, how much responsibility you took, and whether the child relied on you like a parent. This is what I would love you to walk away with. Child support is not about the past, it's about the present and it's about the future. Child support is designed for the child not to feel the impact of a separation, not to feel the impact in their daily lives or in their emotional security. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please hit the like button, and I would love to hear any of your comments. And if you subscribe, I'd be super grateful. And if you would like a free consultation, my information is in the description box below. Thank you so much.